So you always have to pick the strike price and expiration, and we'll talk through different ways you may want to look at that. And then you have to hold enough cash to cover the trade. So if the strike price on the put that you would have to execute at is $50, and you have two contracts, which would be 200 shares, then the amount of money in your account has to be 200 times 50, $10,000. You got to have enough money in your account so that when if push comes to shove and your contract gets executed, you can afford to do what you agreed to do. And so moving on. So the best stocks for a cash secured put might be stocks that you want to own long term. That way, if they drop a little bit, it doesn't bother you because you're just happy to own it. Quality, stable companies tend to be the best. The ones that are riskier can make you the most money, but you got to make sure you know what you're giving up when you make that extra money, right? What you're doing is you're giving up some security. Some of these stocks, the puts may have a higher valuation, and you can sell them and get more cash, but you are taking on more risk when you do that. Um, Volatile hype stocks, many people avoid those. I wouldn't say that avoiding them is unconditional. I would say definitely you want to avoid them if you're just getting started. But if you're a veteran and you know what you're getting into, then there are plenty of people who do actually sell puts on highly volatile stocks. If I go by when I went to buy my puts on Oklo, Oklo's a pretty volatile stock. There were plenty of people ready to sell me those puts, but the cost of those puts was generally going to be higher than stable companies because they know that they're providing insurance on something that is very volatile. There's a rapper named NBA YoungBoy who is going around the country right now, and he's filling up stadiums. And the people that tend to want to come to NBA YoungBoy concerts, not that all of them are gangbangers, but gangbangers like NBA YoungBoy, right? There could be a gun in the arena or a fight or whatever. So there's different ways to handle that. So what happened was NBA YoungBoy is perceived kind of like NWA was at the time. NWA was seen as very risky. And there's three ways you deal with risk. You either absorb it, meaning you just deal with it. You insure against it, or you avoid it. You just walk away. You say, I don't want no parts of it. So with NBA YoungBoy, every concert has an insurance policy. There's always some company that has agreed, like if somebody gets killed or shot or whatever in the arena, we're going to cover you from all the damages if you get sued. For somebody like him, I guarantee you the insurance policies are through the roof because of the nature of that environment, right? And so what happens is he's on tour, he's filling up these arenas, and then there's one viral video of some guys that were confronted by an old security guard, and he asked them to move, and they just beat the heck out of him right there, and it got caught on camera, so and it went viral. And so then what happened after that was he was gonna come to, I think it was Chicago. Was it Chicago? I think and in Chicago, because we've already got a lot of violence in Chicago, I think they just told him no, thank you. I think it was the United Center. They just said no, we just don't So what they chose to do was they chose not to insure the risk. They just said we don't want. We just walking away from it. We don't want to play, right? But then the next city, what they did was they managed the risk, right? And so what they did was actually they didn't just absorb it, they didn't walk away, they insured it at a higher level. So what they did was they didn't just pay the insurance company, but they also had rules put in place. Like you cannot come in with a bag no of any size. A woman with a Chanel purse, you can't bring your purse. You cannot no bags allowed for any reason at all to hopefully minimize the risk. And then they probably got some other stuff in place to just kind of keep things from getting out of control. So risk management, there's typically those three things you can do with risk.